So wait, thank you everybody on the call, and we're gonna go through a 7CR together. Okay, now let me share screen. First of all, I'm Terry Willis, and I've been with Swiss Bionic for the last 6 years. So it is a good company, I can tell you guys, because we have never missed a check in my first 6 years, always on time. Okay, and it pays very well, put it this way. Okay, so now I'm going to explain my experience, and also I'm going to first guide you through the 7CR. I'm going to do you guys see my no? Okay, did I share? Yeah, I did share the screen. Oh, wait a minute, hang on a second. Okay, I am sharing the screen right now, right? Do you guys see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, very good. All right, let's go through the 7CR comp plan, the latest comp plan, okay? This one I sent to everybody on my team, and that is, this is the brochure, business brochure that we all got it from Swiss Bionic newsletter, the last one, just maybe a week or so ago, okay? So let's go through Wolfgang, right? Now, this company has been for 25 years. Wolfgang himself, he had non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. He was 26 years old. So he went through it and it's because of the PMF that right now, of course, he's very, very healthy, and he's a number one, at one time was number one cow race in Europe, okay? And I was there in Germany and Switzerland, the head office, manufacturers, and it's excellent. I mean, Wolfgang, it's master in building relationships. He has very good relationships with the manufacturers. So he is very, very good to his people that working for him as well. And I was in Hong Kong as well. Hong Kong is the distribution center for Asia. And I was in Switzerland and Germany. And I have not been in Canada, by the way. Okay. So, all right. So we have IMRS and Omnium 1. And that you all know about that, right? Well, a lot of the new people, you came in with the IMRS Prime, right? So we don't have IMRS anymore. We used to. So right now, IMRS Prime is replacing IMRS. And it's taken 5 years for the company to develop this. Okay, we started in the Omnium 1, it's PEMF. The IMRS Prime is PEMF combining with far infrared. It is a very unique technology. Nobody has it in the world. And as a matter of fact, we are now recognized as a medical device. The number one, the first company having this medical device, okay? So we're in full compliance. Now, 7CR, here, this few points is important here. 100% legal direct sales concept. I'm talking about a 7CR plan is the best payout ratio in the industry. And that is so true. We copied it more or less from Kangen, but not exactly. But it is very, very similar. I would say about 85%. No sign-up fees, no monthly qualification, no auto ship, no annual renewal, no time limits. Accumulative sales, that's very important because a lot of the company, MLM company, you have to qualify every single month. Mm-hmm. Whereas here, once you qualify for that level, you don't have to requalify every single month. By the way, we are a medical device company. We do not have the MLM culture. I have to say that, okay? But the comp plan itself is a direct sales comp plan. Okay, so let's go down here. This is so important, okay? How many credits that we have? We have 7 credits. 1 full credit is 6.5% from the retail price. Okay, remember that. 1 full credit is 6.5% from the retail price. And then 7 credit is 7 full credit. 1 full credit is 6.5%. We have 7 full credits. Each credit has basic credit is 5%, and then special credit is 1.5%. So altogether, it's 6.5%. So I hope you guys are clear with that, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So as you see, 7 full credits. So 7 times 6.5%, 45.5% per sale that company pays out. That's a lot, okay? 7 full credits. So let's go to, okay. If you look at this chart, Janet, can you admit? Okay. If you look at this chart, okay, we have 1G, 2G, 3G, 4G, 5G, and 6G. And then the 1G is 1 credit, 6.5%. 2G is 2 credit, that's 13%. 3G is 3 credits, 19.5%. 4G is 4 credits, 26%. 5G is 5 credits, 32.5%. 6G is 6 credits and 39%. Okay, now I'm going to show you a different chart. It will be a lot clearer, but let's go to this. Okay, well, let's go to this one. The first 2 legs, that is your 1 credit line. Okay, that is 1 credit. Now, after the first 2, you will jump to 2G, which is 2 credit line. It's between, this is your 3rd sale to the 10. That's group sales, by the way, plus your personal sales. Not just you have to do it all by yourself. That is your group sales, your group and the personal all together. Okay, I remember I did not get to go to 3G until the 15 units were sold. Why? Because we have no control of the group sales, right? So people will be selling and selling, but I need to open another personal sale in order to advance to the next line, next leg, whatever you call it, okay? So 3G, that's 3 credits. Over here, you can get up to 3G by 11 to 20 group sales and personal sales, okay? So the same as 4G, that's a 21 to 50 group sales plus personal sale. 5G is 51 to 90 group sales and personal sales. 6G is 90 plus 1 personal sale. Basically, 91, okay? You get to 6G. That's the highest level you can get to from 1G to 6G. But after 6G, we can advance to different levels beyond 6G. Let's not talk about that. Let's just go to 1G to 6Gs right now, okay? This is a very good chart to train people. Very, very clear, okay? And the 1G is the 2 legs, 2 personal sales, mandatory, okay? So 2G right here, you got 10 sales, jump at 11, you can jump up to 3G, 21, you can go to 4G, 51, you can go to 5G, 91, you can go to 6G. So it's very, very clear. So because it's not just based on your personal sales, therefore, you can be pushed. You can be pushed to different levels very, very quickly. Okay, if you say, for instance, if you sign me up, okay, and I did 15 sales, and I can push you up very, very quickly because my group sales is your group sales volume as well. It counts on units, by the way. Okay, it doesn't matter if you buy an Omnium 1, 3,000 something, or you buy a hybrid set, okay, which is like 6,000 something in promotion right now. So it doesn't matter. It's based on unit, by the way. Okay, it's not based on volume. So we're talking about all these are units. So let's go to here. It's important for people to understand that all this, it's a personal sales right here. It's always calculated from the bottom up, starting from the person who's selling it. Okay. The personal sale always from the bottom up. Okay. It's not from the top down. It's always from the personal and go up. Okay. Now, the next chart, you look at it. The amounts of credit you receive is based on the leg position where the sale happens and how many credits out of 7 left when the counting reaches you. So this, you guys can ask questions as well, but I'm going to explain really briefly. So a personal sales right here, and you get a 1 credit already used. Then the next one, move up the next person, then will be, you have 6 credit left. The next person is 2 credit, taking 2 credit. Then the next person, whatever credit you take, it can be your 3G leg, it can be on your 2G leg, and then you always, it's based on what leg of this sale happens, okay? So for the new people, you may be, let's go back here, maybe you can see it more clearly. For the new people, it's maybe you may not easily understand. So I have people make question me again and again. For instance, you're on a 5G, okay? And then you have a sale here on 3G. Because this person is on your 3G leg, so you always collect that commission level, the credits, based on that leg occurs, okay? So it's not on, because even though you're 5G, you're not collecting 5 credits because these sales on your 3 credits leg, okay? So it's the same as 2G and 4G, all right? So let's, but again, it's from the bottom going up, okay? Now on this one is, oh, we talked about that. This one, I'm so sorry. Did we talk about that? Yeah, when a sale happened. Okay, all right. So now, just to remind you guys, the 6.5% is the total credit, 1 full credit, okay? And based on the 5% on basic credit and 1.5% on a special credit. So when you receive your check, it will tell you BC and SC. So that's what it means, okay? Basic credit and a special credit combining together is 6.5% of full credit. Now, the reason they do that, because we have a 90 days rule. Okay, the 90 days rule, it is, you have to have a personal sale within 90 days. So you receive only basic credit. If you do not have, if your 90 day is expired, you did not have a sale, personal sale. So you only get the basic credit right here. You do not get the special credit. So instead of 6.5%, you get the 5%. Okay. All right. So if you go over a year, no, wait a minute. If you go over 6 months, right? This is 6 months. You only get, if you go over 6 months, you only get 50%. It doesn't say here. You only get 50%. Sorry. Yeah. If you go over 6 months to a year, in between that time, you only get 50% of the basic credit. Of course, you don't have the special credit anymore. You only have 50% of basic credit, 5%. And if you go over a year, you get 0, okay? We're talking about group volume, by the way. I'm so sorry. It's not personal volume. It's talking about group sales, people under you, they're selling, not about your personal sale. It doesn't affect your personal sale. You always get whatever your 5 credit, 5G, you get 5 credits for personal sale. But the group sale, that it will be diminished. Okay. So that's all over 7CR plan. I always, Janet? Okay. So we're talking about, okay, I'm always, this is the business opportunity information brochure sent from the Swiss Bionic Solutions. It's very, very important for everybody to read it. It's right there. I just went through it. But I also have a few pages when I train people. These few pages are key important information. I summarize it really quickly, okay? Let's go through it again. And let's go through it again. We're talking about, accumulative sales. That's so important, okay? No monthly qualification, no auto ship. Those are very, very good. And this is a chart. It's very important. You go by these numbers, okay? Let's see how I can enlarge it. Hang on. Okay. All right, you guys see it? Okay. The 1G, 1 credit, 2 credit, 3 credit, 4 credit, 5 credits, 5 credit and 6 credit, 6G. And the personal sales mandatory. Group sales will push you up to different level. I mean, you've been lucky enough to have a very good one. You can skip, okay? You don't have to stay on each leg. You can just skip from 1G, you can go up to 5G, but 1G is mandatory for these two. And the earnings, remember, full credit is 6.5%. And then 7 full credits for the sale, it's 7 times 6.5 is 45.5% total we can earn for one sale, okay? 1 full credit is basic is 5%, and then the special is 1.5%. You just remember this. Once you get a check, you see it, you understand, okay? Here again, that's what we went through it, right? On these percentages. So here I also type up, just explaining how it comes up with all those percentages, okay? And just remember one thing. Okay, now this is from the bottom up, starting from the sale from the bottom up. Always pay from the bottom up, very important, okay? And then it depends on how many credits left when the counting reaches you. So it is important, okay? Then remember the 90-day plan is based on your group sales. It talk about your group sale. It's not on your personal sale. Personal sale, you always earn the same thing. I have one more thing I was going to, okay. All right. One more thing I was going to say. Earning, okay. So you can go as fast as you want. You can go as slow as you want, okay? But I can tell you that the fastest you go.
Hi, Megan. Okay.
Yes,
good. So are you ready?
Can you mute the person, Janet? Okay, it's good. All right, so that, what I'm trying to say, okay. Here's the thing. If people we're talking about want to earn more money, it's really, I tell people, basically 4G, 5G, 6G, you will see the money in the beginning. You may not see a whole lot, but 5G, 6G, that it'll give you a very good earning, basically, okay? Because you have a lot of override. That's important too, okay? The override from other people, they just got started, and you will get override from these people. They're 2G, 3G, 4G, 5G. I still get override from Pamela, okay? So Pamela's 5G, and that's okay. Now, a little bit more, this one, a new person may not have to know all that, but I might as well tell you that in fact, it's the company, it's paying 7 credit per sale. So it's more than I actually realize, okay? Even though I've been in for 6 years and I'm not that good with numbers. In fact, my sponsor is Kangen 6873. He's really, really high up from the beginning. And he taught me about the comp plan, but it's a little different. I didn't realize Wolfgang tweaked a little bit twist a little bit that we're actually making more money. So each sale, you're talking about 6G is 6 credit. Each sale is actually, you can make 7 credit, 45.5% now, okay? Because when you calculate all this sale on the people, it's 7 credit on each sales, not 6 credit that I thought in the beginning. So it's 7 credits. So when people they're above 6G, they have different rewards. You don't have to worry about that. But it's 7 credits, 7 full credits for each sale. And that's more money than I realized, okay? Because I'm so sorry, I didn't pay attention. I just look at, good checks and stuff like that. I didn't go into all the detail, look at every calculations and stuff like that. I'm not that a number oriented person. So, all right. So if I've told you guys that a 6 credit, and I apologize, it's 7 credit, it's more money than I realized. Okay. So, I know that a new person, you may not get it all at one time, but that's okay. You don't have to, it may not be overnight, but as you do the business, and you will learn very, very quickly. Okay. So Janet, yeah. All right. So, let me admit. Okay, I got it. So, okay, now, let's see. That is the plan we talk about. Okay. So, any questions? So, you know what? I want to add something very important. Okay. The business is important, but your personal experience, it's very it's the most important thing. And we'll talk about how, I myself, I have great testimonial in the beginning. I'm very, very passionate about what the Swiss Bionic product PEMF has changed my health and changed my life, and also changed my financial situation. So this will come, finance will come, but always your personal testimonial, your personal result, or learn from other people's result. That's very important. So Janet, I really want you to share. You're my hero. Okay, unmute yourself. And I'm sorry I forgot to have you share in the beginning. I cannot forget about you. Please share about.
Okay.
In fact, Janet, you are my quite a few levels down, and then you reached out, and then I took you under my wing, and some of the people may not be active, but I'm so grateful to be able to work with you. Along with many other builders, Pamela, of course, and along with others. You guys are great. And so share with me about your personal testimonial. And you didn't do much in the beginning because you didn't know about the business until you reached out to me now, and you are really doing very well. And we've been talking all the time. Share with me your personal testimonial first, and also talk about, you were recently you were talking with your personal primary care doctor, and she's holistic, which is good. And then you talk about she did not want to take the PEMF, but you turn things around. Now I'm excited about how you can turn things around and completely changing the situation in your business and everything. Okay, I'll let you do it, Janet.
Okay, so my name is Janet, and I have
you're in St. Louis, right?
I'm in St. Louis.
Yep.
I have 3 conditions which the medical community is basically hopeless on. And I was suicidal because of my conditions. I have 3 conditions that people take their lives from because they're so hopeless. And so I was about to the point of suicide when I found, when I found PEMF therapy. And after my first treatment, I went from not being able to walk and my eyes and brain shaking so much. And after my first treatment, I was able to walk. I've been able to drive since. I started with a beamer mat that burned my micro blood vessels. In my fingertips. So I did some research and found that Swiss Bionic had the most effective system out there. And it actually has been proven to work on one of my conditions. it actually is proven to me to work on all three of my conditions, but one of them is in the eye guide. And so I quit being disabled and started a business called Pill Free Hope. And I recently went to my doctor for my checkup this year. And when I went to her, we did it over the phone, and she said, "What's going on?" And I said, "Well, instead of being disabled and spending all my time in a dark, quiet room, I now have a business where I share gut health and PEMF with people." And I told her I'd now go indoor skydiving, and I can bowl 14 games in 2.5 hours. And I've had both my arms sewn back on. I've had my feet reconstructed, my knees cleaned out, hysterectomy, oophorectomy, 7 hernias repaired, all my teeth removed, literally surgery head to toe, spent 14 years in a hospital bed in my home on mega doses of narcotics, couldn't hold saliva in my mouth or hold a conversation with people. And now I take no prescriptions. Thanks to the Omnium One is what I started with. I now have 4 systems. And I have 2 Omnium Ones. I have an Expert Prime and I have a Hybrid Prime, which is my pride and joy. And so recently when I went to my doctor and I told her, now I'm indoor skydiving, I'm bowling, I'm roller skating twice a week, she was blown away. And she said, "Janet, you have to come into my office and share with my patients what has helped you." And so I did. And at first I wanted to just give her a system for a week and let her use it on her patients. And she said, no. When she found out how much it cost, she said, "No, I don't want to do that. I don't want the risk." And so eventually she said, "You have to come in with your system and just bring it in and treat my patients." So one day a week, I go to my doctor's office and I treat her patients from morning until night. One day she even gave me a key to her office and said, "You just clock up when you leave," because they were there to see me longer than they were there to see her. Now she schedules people an entire day for me, and I'm seeing miraculous results. I mean, just miraculous results. People are just mind blown. I had a nun come and see me, and she's sending people to my house now. I usually have 2 mats set up behind me, but it's still packed up in the car because I was at the doctor's office all day today. So my doctor bought 2 systems, one for her brother, who's a doctor in Pakistan, one for herself and her husband here. And she's just what I call cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, which is what I call people when they realize the power of the system here. So she just goes on and on and on about it. She tells, when I'm not at her office, she calls me and says, "I have a patient in my office and I want you to talk to Janet. Listen to what she has to say." And I tell them, all about it. So that's what I do now.
Well, Janet, I remember you told me, hang on just a sec. Okay, I can see. Okay. I remember you told me that you wanted to leave that PMF, the Prime unit at your doctor's office, but she turned you down. At first, she said, "Well, I don't want to be responsible for this expensive unit." But it amazed me. You turned them around and you'd call me like a few days later. "Oh, I sold 2. How could it be? They turned you around and then you sold them
it's
too."
because I took it to her office and
Right.
I showed her with her own patients. A woman recently, 2 women came into her office with chest pains. Okay. And I have the EKG for one of them right here that I can share with you. The patient got an EKG. It showed an irregular heartbeat. She had chest pains. I put her on the system. Within 5 minutes, the chest pain was gone. Within 10 minutes, she got her second EKG and it showed a regular heartbeat. So when I show my doctor things like that, people have numb sensations all over their body. They lay on my system for 10 minutes. The lady says, "I can only lift my arm to here," but she goes like this when she does it. She said, my arm only can go to here. And then when she walked outside, she suddenly could feel how cold it was. It was 26 degrees. She didn't wear a coat in my house or to my house because she didn't have feeling through her body. She couldn't tell how cold it was. On the way out, she was freezing. She could tell how cold it was. So just miraculous things. So that's why I sold 2 to my doctor. And she really wants her patients to not need her. And so she has them come in for the PEMF and we learn about gut health, and it's amazing.
Right. Well, the thing is, a lot of times people may not have an immediate result, but we always tell people that consistency and hydration,
Right.
we talk about that, right? And I think it's because your confidence and you basically chase the business. You really know how to turn things around, even though I remember you were disappointed, right?
I
but
was, but
yeah, but
it's
of
God's
course,
plan, not my plan.
right,
It's
right.
God's plan.
And right now you have a good outlet for more leads and coming in the doctor's office, and that's wonderful. So
Absolutely.
yeah, that's really, really good. So we're going to open up questions. I know people want to ask about either products or the 7CR plan, and feel free. Okay, right now is the time that you guys can ask question. So let's me go back to
This is Marv.
yeah, Marv. Okay, Marv.
Hi, guys. Hello, everybody. And Janet and Terry, thank you so much for everything. And Janet, your story and you sharing is amazing. So my silly question is, did you say that when you introduced it to the doctor, did you use the Omnium One to let them start off with, or did you always just use the IMRS Prime with the doctor when you go there, especially now weekly, as you mentioned?
What I do now is I take when I first showed it to her, all I had was an Omnium One.
Okay, that's why I thought.
And she didn't really understand the benefit. When I showed it to her in action, it was the Prime with the hybrid. That's what I took to her office, and that's what I take every week.
Okay, thanks.
Janet, do you charge people to use your bed? If so, like how much do you charge?
Well, I could charge, but I don't charge. I go see people for a whole day, 1 day a week. I go to my doctor's office and I just share with them the hope for healing naturally. So today I got 3 leads. I had a man come in that said, I don't want to go to a nursing home. Can you help me not go to a nursing home? I said, I think I can help you. So I had a plastic surgeon come into her office today to treat a patient to remove a mole. And he came in and was amazed at my system. And I said to him,
they would have had to take it off the loading dock.
But that guard station,
Okay.
I remember seeing
We
it.
I'm going
have
to mute
to
everyone
really-
again. Okay. So I'm going to give permission to unmute, but please only unmute yourselves if you're going to talk. Okay.
Exactly. Yeah. Unmute yourself when you want to talk. Okay.
I think I made it so y'all can unmute yourselves. Anyway, I'm sorry. I was distracted by that. What was the question? Oh, do I charge? I don't charge people right now. I do it to get leads, and I kind of see it as an investment because my doctor wants to introduce me to other doctors. She teaches at 2 hospitals, and she's a medical director at 2 nursing homes. And so she wants to introduce me to people. And so I'm just giving it away right now. I have her patients. I have cancer patients that come to my home 3 times a week to use it. And I do have a donation box on my wall. And if they want to give me money, they can give me money. But God has blessed me so immensely. I went from being in a hospital bed for 14 years, disabled for 25 years, to being able to live my life. So I'm just so grateful. It's not about the money for me. I figured the money will come later. This is an investment. I'm investing in my business by offering this for free, but you don't have to. You can offer $25 a session. You can do 3 sessions for $75. That seems to be about the going rate. But I believe doctors in California are doing it for $275 a session. So that's not my goal, though. My goal is to show people, and I don't want to treat people. I want to sell the mat to people.
Right.
So that'll come, though.
Yeah. Well,
Did that
the
answer?
thing is, you only had Omnium One in the beginning, right?
Right.
But then every money that you earned, and you save it, and you bought your IMRS Prime. And you're amazing.
Not only that, but I'm to the point now where when people from my church get COVID, they call me and I drop off one of my Omnium One systems for them, and they keep it for 3 days and kicks COVID's butt every time. So, and when I was at church Sunday, because I give it away, someone came up to me, an 83-year-old man came up to me and said, I'm having trouble breathing. And I said, well, let's get you on the mat. And he said, okay. I put him on the mat that day. He used his nebulizer after he did an hour and 20 minutes on the mat, went to the doctor the next day. The doctor said, your lungs are completely clear. So we're establishing, and now he will go to church Sunday and be cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. And I've sold systems at church to a family who bought 2 systems because they gave one to a woman who had cancer and they couldn't do without their system. So they had to buy a second one.
Yeah.
So the money will come.
Yeah.
If I just share with people, the money will come.
Yeah. Feel free to ask any questions, 7CR or any product question.
Can people unmute themselves? No.
Yeah. Can they unmute themselves? They cannot, Janet.
Okay,
Oh,
hold on.
Terry,
Let's
I've got
unmute
it
them.
now. This is Penny.
Oh,
I had
Penny.
a question. Yes, I know that Wolfgang had talked about macular degeneration, and he had said that you could possibly use the spot for that. Do you remember that?
Wolfgang.
Yeah,
Okay. Who would like to chime in about that? I don't remember that.
I thought he said you could lay it on both
Oh.
sides of your head.
He's talking about Great Mouser.
Greg,
Oh,
yeah.
that's right. I'm
Okay,
sorry,
all right,
Greg. Yeah,
Wolfgang.
great.
Well, Pamela, do you remember that? On
Yeah.
both sides, yeah.
Yeah, so what Greg was talking about was having the optical nerves get on the mat so that he was lying on the side and allowing the PEMF and the far infrared to penetrate. And he was saying he was having results with that.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, it was Greg. Mhm.
Right.
Thank you. I couldn't remember because I know he said it Brandon, his family, but I'm sorry. I thought it was Wolfgang. It was Greg. Yeah, yep, Greg.
No problem.
And I'll chime in for Kimberly and everyone who wants to know. So I have never charged for a PMF session. And as a matter of fact, but I'm not saying that you can't, and doctors will be doing that, I am sure. And they will,
$50. The
Yeah.
doctors, they're charging $50. The doctors that I work with, yes.
yeah, and eventually, you know, hang on, somebody's
Look,
unmuted.
the other people.
What was I gonna say?
Janet, can you mute the whoever?
I muted that person.
Okay.
Thank you, Janet. But anyways, so what I'm finding is I've been doing events that I love, and I do sessions usually with a partner. And one event we did, my gosh, I think we did over 300 sessions in 2 days. And what happens is the people who are, like Janet's saying, are suffering, they're in pain, they've got issues, they pop up off that mat and they immediately have a result, and they cannot understand. They're like, oh my God, how do I get this? What do I do? And how do I use it? So we don't really need, I mean, in my situation, I don't need to charge for it because, again, like Janet said, the goal is to have them have their own in-home healthcare system, because with all the bioweapons and 5G and radiation and all these things that are coming at us, it is better to have your own home healthcare system that you can use every day to clear it and to raise your energy level. So we find, you know, it's different. Doctors, of course, can charge for it. People can charge for it if they want. But our goal and intention has been to get them to have their own, so their family daily, everyone in their family, especially like Kimberly has a big family. And the more people you can get it out to in your family and friends and associates, the more people we can help. And I see Felicia there. And I'm just wondering if she could share, because she sent me a fabulous picture of her beautiful dog just like hanging out on the mat. And I know you've been using it since you've had it for your issues you're dealing with. Do you want to share anything, Felicia?
Open up your
You have
mic.
to
Yeah.
unmute.
Unmute. We cannot hear you.
Oh, I see. Okay,
Okay,
sorry.
got it.
Thank you.
I was never diagnosed, but I started seeing double a few years ago, and they still can't find what's wrong. They suggested that I go to Mayo Clinic or UCLA. I did all kinds of tests, but I have spots on the back of my brain in the optical nerve part. So I felt so good after I got on this with Pamela. I did it twice. I slept better than I'd slept in so long, and I use it every day. There was a couple days I didn't use it, but my dog loves it. He climbs up there with me. But I wanted to know how long, like, should I use it? Because I know the optical nerve is on the back part of the head. like right somewhere here. Do I lay with my head right on there, and how long should I use it, and what setting would be the best? Because I made an appointment. I was so sure this bed was going to work that I made an appointment with my ophthalmologist again in June, because I said, I want to see, because I wasn't supposed to come back for a year. I said, I want to see the difference because I got the med bed. I want to see. So I have an appointment, and I'm trying to do, sorry, this is my little buddy. He's like constantly, wants to be next to me. But I want to see what to do the best that I could do with my mat. And I love my mat. I love it so much. I fall asleep on it. It's one of the best things I've ever done in my life, is to get this mat.
Alicia, I have a question. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Are you using the Hexagon brain entrainment system as well?
Not every single time, no.
Okay.
I wasn't sure exactly how long, because I didn't see a setting in the
Right. And
yeah.
so, okay. So, well, Terry, do you have any suggestion? I have ideas.
Yeah, go ahead, Pamela.
Okay. So, well, especially with Felicia, I don't know, are you using the Pulse Hexagon Sense?
No, I don't know exactly how to use it. I haven't been using it. I've used the.
Okay, because the most important, I think, in your case would be to use it. And all
Okay.
you have to do is, we talked about, just put it on your finger with the cord coming down the back, and you'll see the little finger, and make sure the red light is on.
Okay.
And the reason is because let's say you put yourself on sensitive in the morning, or 10 or 25. It will read your energetic, and then it will do biofeedback. And if the number intensity that you put it on is not accurate, meaning you thought it should be on 25 or 10, it will adjust it for what
That's
your
good.
body needs. So I think, especially in your case where you're going to have another exam, let your body, get calibrated with the biofeedback, because it's different for everybody. Some people put it on 10 and it'll raise to 50. Some people put
That's
it on
what happened.
10. Yeah. So let it do its job, because your body knows what it needs to turn on the healing process to heal itself.
With the mask as well.
No, so with the
Not necessarily.
goggles, it's a more personalized setting, and it depends on the person. And, we can talk about that further, but the most important thing with the goggles is that you have the intensity on a level that you're comfortable with, meaning the brightness. And then as far as the colors, we all know red is more for being focused and alert. And so if somebody had brain fog or something, I would use more red. But if somebody has
brain fog.
Yeah, and if somebody's got like ADD or a really active brain, I would not use the red, or turn it way down, especially for autism or ADHD or learning. It depends. There's a fine line, because if somebody can't focus, they may need a little bit of red. But if someone has active, autism or ADHD, we don't want to overstimulate them. And then with that, again, it's a personal preference. So with the colors like blue and green, it's a personal preference, because obviously the green is a very healing color, harmonizing, and blue is a more calming, like the ocean color. So go ahead. What was that?
I have something to add regarding the brain entrainment.
Yeah.
The colors and their described effects have a very clear, and it's not just like, for instance, red, it says documented to create positive effects on circulation, chronic illness, non-infected wounds, scar tissue, strengthens kidneys, heart, muscles, blood, lungs, and bones. So I tell people that they need to look through these colors and critique their brain entrainment, their chromotherapy part of the brain entrainment, to specifically what they're trying to do, because some colors will raise your blood pressure, some will lower your blood pressure. So critique it according to what you're trying to do. And also regarding the optical nerve in the back of your head, I take the spot treatment and I put it on both sides of behind my ears. And I use it like that. So if it's the optical nerve in the back of your head, you may want to just lay there on a pillow with the spot treatment. And I would do that on 10 if I were you.
Okay.
Yeah, the
Okay.
spot is good for the face. And then talk about the, I started with the ambient one on the brain entrainment. What I learned from the beginning is that red, you have to make it dim. That's the key. Don't go high, bright color, especially red. It irritates people, especially when they're sick. People, they're ill, you don't want to be irritated. So the red is, just be careful with that. But make it dim. Greg always teaching us that you don't want to have it bright. Dim is better.
Can I ask one more
Okay.
question? When I went to Pamela's and I did this Safaggio, and
Safaggio,
I
yeah.
did, it was like the green. I think it was the green, maybe the blue. That was the best night's sleep I've ever had in my life. I want to redo that one. I was trying to figure out how can I do that again? That was amazing. Like, I just couldn't even believe it. That's what sold me. That's
Yeah.
why I bought it.
Okay,
Is-
very
And
good.
I've
Yeah.
had people buy it because of the brain entrainment.
Yeah, it's just,
Yeah.
it was amazing. Yeah.
Dr.
And you know
Miley, the
that you
same
can-
thing. Yeah.
You know that you can add 432 hertz music to the system, making it an entirely new therapy.
Wow, that's awesome. Yeah, I
So that's
haven't
what
done
the
that yet.
music option is to put 432 hertz music,
That's awesome.
which is a whole new kind of frequency healing.
Mm-hmm.
So,
That's
Well,
okay, we have a question from John. John, can you unmute yourself?
Lay down, Tucker.
Are you able to?
okay, you can see the questions, huh?
Yeah.
People raising their
Oh,
hand or
and-
something. Yeah.
Yeah, John has a question, and
John?
someone asked me what COVID setting. I start people low, and the one person that I had with COVID and double pneumonia, I tell people when I drop off the system to take it up, do it at sensitive 10 or 25 the first day, and then increasingly work your way up. The guy that had double pneumonia and COVID used it on 200 for a solid hour every other hour for the last 2 days and wiped it out. So,
John's not able to unmute. Janet, did we do something? Did we
okay,
block
let me
them?
see if I can unmute John.
Well, I know.
I'm going to unmute everyone and
Yeah,
see
unmute
if
everyone. Yeah. And please unmute yourself if you have some background noises. And in fact, that this is supposed to be a comp plan training. And I invited just just a small group of people. But then again, now with this product question, which is good. But feel free to ask the 7 CR comp plan questions. Okay. So go ahead and unmute. John, are you there, John?
I asked everyone to unmute, but John is still muted. Can everyone else mute yourselves and just unmute as you see it?
Right. Can you unmute everybody? Janet?
I asked everyone to unmute. It won't let me unmute everyone, but I
let me
asked
try it.
everyone to unmute.
Let me try it from my end. Let's see. Well, okay, let me see. Where is
John
John?
still can't do it.
Okay, I didn't want to mute all. I only have a mute off button. Okay, let me mute all and then that's okay. All right, I'll do that and see if you guys can unmute by itself. Can you? Yes, Felicia can.
Yeah.
Who else?
Yes.
I can unmute.
Kimberly, you can. You can
Yes,
unmute.
yes.
Okay,
we
John, can you
just-
unmute? John, can you unmute yourself? You raise your hand, but
It comes on the screen. It says, would you like to unmute? I'm going to mute myself.
okay, right. All right, and what other questions people have?
Kimberly had a question.
Yeah, people should be able to unmute, right?
We can.
Yeah,
we can-
Pamela, can you try? You can too, right?
Yes, I can.
Yes, we all can.
Okay, good. Yeah, okay, you guys can unmute. Yeah.
I guess she answered the one question I had about the COVID setting. Another question I have is, I'm looking at this more as like offering it as a business. So people come into my office and they use the med beds. Also selling, like as they use them, selling them to the people. will the company ever come out with maybe a payment plan that people can use? Because I know that would deter a lot of people, just the price. I mean, it made me hesitant a little bit, but I was able to work around it with my credit card and stuff like that. But I know some people don't have that option. So will the company ever offer or try to work something out that they have their own like credit card that people can use?
Well, the company doesn't have a payment plan. It's a medical device company. We all have to pay upfront plus tax, no shipping. You have to use a third party, which is a third party loan company. And we have that. We don't use often because they have a fee there. It's easier to pay by credit card. I always tell people it's all based on the credit of the good credit, right? So you might as well pay by with credit card because Citibank and Chase Bank, they have like 18 months no interest, and so you can get those credit card. But the company Swiss Bionic doesn't have payment plan. I'm sorry. Yeah, it doesn't.
Can I ask a question real quick, based off of Kimberly's question, Terry?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Hi,
Is it Marv?
Yes. Hi, honey.
Okay.
Real quick, since we are technically a quote unquote medical device, can we not start being available to use care credit? Would Swiss Bionic be open to that?
No
Since it
care
is a medical?
No care. No. Care credit is going through your practitioners and your doctors, chiropractors, or medical doctors. So it care credit for that use. But Swiss Bionic is not a doctor or practitioner. They cannot take care credit. So that has to, I have people, they buy our PEMF devices, a number of them, through their chiropractors. So the chiropractor takes the care credit, and the chiropractor herself, they have to pay Swiss Bionic. So the chiropractor is acting on behalf of the patient. But then company itself, Swiss Bionic, does not take care credit. I have here, Christine, you have a 7CR question? I'm just starting to read the chat right now. Christine?
Okay, and John, if John can put his question in the
on the chat
box, we can answer it.
Yeah, go ahead,
Hi,
Christine.
Terry. Hi, Terry. I have a question. I know Greg had talked about this before, but if I have somebody that in one of my like 1 or 2G legs that I sold to 2 years ago, and now it's coming up where they're going to be a pretty good seller. Is there a way for us to move them out of that leg and into a higher, whatever leg we are in now? I thought you could do a switch like a couple times.
Well, what do you mean? You mean the person is on your 1 or 2G leg, and now you're in a higher level, you want to switch them over? Why?
Yeah.
Why do you want to switch them over? What's the
Well,
advantage?
I thought Greg had said that originally when I had gotten started, that if that were the case, that we could do that. And I just didn't know if you could do that, or why you would want to do that.
Yeah, there's no reason for you to do that, because say you're 4G right now, and you are getting override from these people. They are on your lower leg, okay?
Yeah.
So you get better credit on their sales. Why do you want to switch them over to your, you mean when you know what? It's just the opposite. Because it is a little bit more advanced training here. For the new people, you might be lost, but say you're 4G right now, they're on your 2G leg, right? So when they sell, you get a 2G commission, but especially they are builders,
right?
Because you will also get override from the person's sale and from the person's people sale, okay? So you have more people to work with. But if you move them on the 4G, it will eat up the credit very quickly. I wouldn't do that.
Okay.
Because especially they're builders. Builders, they multiply. If they're just customers, are different.
Okay.
Janet, admit some. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Is it clear? No problem.
Yeah. Yep, it is. Thanks.
Okay. Thanks, Christine. Okay. Any other questions, 7CR or otherwise?
I'm sorry, but I do have more questions because I'm just new to this. So if I wanted, like I said, I want to do this more as like a business that I offer for people to come in and do this. Do you have to have a certain license?
I'm sorry. Could,
Yes.
can you mute somebody, mute that
I think
person?
John
Janet?
I think John got unmuted. So I'll let
Oh,
him ask
John.
his
Okay,
question.
John, wait a second. Okay, John. Okay.
Oh, I can let him answer. Oh, I can let him
Can you guys
answer.
hear me now?
There.
I had to hang up and get back on the phone. So
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Okay, Kimberly, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Kimberly.
Wait, I'm on.
Let John go ahead and ask.
Oh, John,
since he
you have a
got it out.
question,
It's
John?
okay.
Yeah, so can you guys hear me?
Yes, now loud and clear.
Excellent. Okay, my name is John. I just recently came over to the team. And I do have a Beamer that I had for some time. I was able to get excellent training for the Beamer family, but I didn't see anything that moved me into the direction I wanted to go. Didn't have any health issues, but I did want to improve on blood flow because that seemed like it was what PMF is all about. So I was introduced to the IMSR 2000 Prime. Is that what it is, Terry?
Wait. Now you are with the IMR's Prime. You bought the IMR's Prime. Yes.
Right. So I do have that. And unfortunately, I had to pretty much teach myself. I had zero training support. And I was introduced to Terry, which was excellent because her follow-up was excellent. Her energy, her motivation to learn more and be more with the machine. So anyway, that's the case. And so I did have a question about March. If anybody else experienced this, and so what an eye guide, what should I try to put it on? About a year ago in March, exactly a year ago, I was on the Beamer, and about midnight, I started feeling tingling in my fingertips. Unbelievable. I never felt nothing like this, and I'm 61, and I felt tingling in my fingertips, and I can feel the pulse in my fingertips, like literally my blood pressure in my fingertips, all 10 fingers at the same time. And it lasted for a few days, and it actually comes and goes. So I stopped the Beamer 100% and thinking it was the Beamer because that's what I was on at that time. And so if anything in the eye guide, I went to the doctor, they said, we don't know what that is. We have no idea. And to this day, it comes and goes. I can feel it a little bit, like it goes away, but still have no idea. So in the eye guide, is there anything in eye guide that points to anything like that at all? If someone can answer that question.
Eye guide. I'm not sure why you bring up eye guide, but anyway,
I'm going to take this one.
Go ahead, Janet.
I'm going to take this question because I actually had a similar experience with the Beamer, burning the micro blood vessels in my fingertips after 2 months of using it only twice a week. So how long have you had your IMRS system?
I've probably had it since last July, but I had zero training. I was self-taught in the last maybe 30 days to 60 days.
Okay. And what are you using it on?
I just use the manual mode. And what I do at night, I'll get on them. I do the mat at night for 8 minutes. And then I do have my right knee is bone on bone and my hip is kind of arthritis in my right hip. So, but that doesn't stop me because we're actually on the way to the Redondo Beach right now to go bike riding. We're going to do 20 miles. So I'm in the process of doing 365 days straight of riding my bike, anywhere from on average about 20 miles a day, 10 to 20 miles a day. But the highest.
Okay. And are you using the spot treatment on your knee?
Yes, I use the spot and that, my knee.
What are you using it on?
I just use manual mode, and whatever that is, that's what I use. I don't have any intensities, anything like that.
Okay, I would use the spot treatment on 25 on your knee. I would use it for at least 24 minutes. And regarding your hand, I would use the big body mat on sensitive or 10 for the next couple of months. And you can use the sense if you have the sense and let that take you up as your body directs it. But I would personally keep your body at a very low setting until your fingers heal.
Okay, so, and that's interesting you say that. I actually felt my fingertips got to the point, believe it or not, when they actually, maybe this is what happened to you, my fingertips actually dried out. I had to go to sleep with I had to soak my hands in Vaseline and, and then put on plastic gloves at night just to keep it from peeling the next day. So it all came back, but in the last year, I probably felt the same thing happen. And I was calling my Beamer rep and he was like, John, I've never heard of that. Maybe you had on And I was doing the beamer every day, like on the program mode, maybe for 20 minutes or something like that. And it all of a sudden it just blew me away because I was like, I'm in pretty good optimum shape. I mean, literally.
Yeah. Well, John, one of my problems with the Beamer, and there's no comparison between the IMRS and the Beamer. It's comparing a apple to a pineapple. They may both have apple in it, but it's completely different. And the Beamer takes you up in a gradation all the way to the top every time. And the only way to avoid that is to write your own program on the Beamer. And so, which I know how to do, but I'll never do it again because I just don't trust the Beamer. I don't believe that it has, it's not a quality device. I could go on and it's the one that NASA gets behind, and it's like the most expensive version of the least effective technology regarding
I totally understand. So sure. I'm actually really, really, really good at sales. And so my goal was to master the Swiss Bionic machine because I'm good at what I do. But like Terry said, the best testimony is your own testimony. Like hearing your testimony, it's amazing. And we all have our own, reason why we buy the machine. But right now, I'm scheduled to have a hip replacement in July.
Okay.
You should, and the doctor said, look, if I was a librarian, the hip would still be the issue, but it doesn't stop me. I'm still probably more productive than most people one of the doctors said, he's amazed how efficient I am, even with a hip, knee bone on bone, but I don't let none of that stop me. So here's the deal. So if I do I'm going to use the spot treatment on the sensitivity, you say 20, 25?
On 25 for 24 minutes or more is what I would suggest.
And then
do the pain setting. Okay.
And then do the body mat. I mean, I'm sure doing the pad and lay my hands on top of the pad.
I wouldn't do that. If I were you, I would just do the big body mat. The body mat promotes healing more. The pain aspect is more the spot and the pad. So if I were you, I would just let your body heal and minimize because your body's had too much from the Beamer. So you want to slowly, I tell people, we want to whisper, heal. We're not trying to scream, heal. So that's the idea I give people, is that we're just trying to gently promote healing. So if I were you, I would use it on sensitive or 10, no higher than 25. If you want, you can use the sensor and see what that guides you to, but you might want to just stay low for a little bit. Now, regarding the bone on bone, I would like to say that I have a testimony of a man whose doctor said he needed to have both of his knees replaced because he had stage 4 bone on bone pain. And he used the spot 3 days in a row and was able to decrease the inflammation and promote healing to the point where 3 months later, he was still at a 0 in one of his knees. So before you go and get that surgery, I would try a few more things, including placing the pad alongside your hip and then using the spot like under and above, and take it from 3 directions and put that same signal in 3 directions. Just give yourself a mega dose in your hip. Try that a few times and see if that helps. Also, you might try other things such as, soaking in an Epsom float, or there are other ways to help your hip besides just jumping to the surgery. I know you want to be active, and I support that completely.
Look, I've searched the world for solutions. I had a stem cell injection in my right knee, and that was like 4,000. That didn't work. PMR, I had PC, PCR, whatever it's called, injections, and when they screen your blood and stuff. But anyway, I think we should do this. Is it okay if we take this offline? Maybe I can call you.
John,
I can take some notes.
Yeah,
please do, because there are other things I'd like to say to you too.
Right.
So go ahead,
John. Let me have a
Yes,
session
ma'am.
with you. And may I say a couple of things? Make sure you drink a lot of water before and after. Water is the pathway, get the toxin out of your body. Okay.
Makes sense.
Activate your cells with the water from the beginning, before you do the treatment, and after each treatment, and make sure you drink a lot of water as well. And that's to detox, and water is the pathway. and
I
move the
understand.
toxin out of your body. And also because you're using pet and the spot, I always suggest people pet and spot. Those are local applicator, pain applicators. I do it on people if they have a lot of pain, have a long-term healing. We use what they call the induction and resonance, meaning that you use low intensity, sensitive, like sensitive. Okay, you can use maybe 20 minutes on sensitive, and then after that you do maybe 150. So you rotating like back to back. You can do back to back. Body mat, you don't need to do body mat, but local applicator you can. So like Greg was teaching, that's induction and resonance, and that will help you better. And let's go through a session with you, John. So I know you're very busy. You have a business you're handling. We're gonna have a session. I really have to go through.
No, that's okay. I'll make time for but health is number one.
All right.
Without health, all that other stuff doesn't matter. So
John, no problem. Yeah.
I would like to drive out to Orange County and meet with you for lunch.
I know. We talk about that. Yep. Let's do it. Yep. Okay.
I have one more, if possible. You know how they say when you want to use the spot things, like the one for the back and the one for the areas, and you're supposed to use the mat first, right? Before
Always
you
mat
use the
first.
spot things.
Absolutely.
So how long on the mat should I use the mat before I use the spot things on my brain or wherever else
Okay. The mat for the IMR's Prime, minimum 12 minutes. Okay. And as your body get used to, for me, I do 20 minutes when I have time. If I don't have time, I use 15 minutes or 12 minutes minimum. For the PMF combining with far infrared, we're talking about hybrid. Okay. So it's also the same thing. You're going to drink a lot of water before and after. And do the mat first because it opens up your oxygen pathway. It will work better when you do the local applicator. Let me give you an example. And when I first got started, I held I joined a health fair, and then I met with one of the bone density fitness center. Actually, Janet, you're from there, from that group, okay? And this one of the franchise owner came up to me. He had a lot of shoulder pain, and I said, okay, I'm gonna want to do the mat first. For at that time was Armin 1, minimum 8 minutes. So we were very busy. I said, okay, I'll give you 8 minutes. And after that, he said, oh, my shoulder, even my shoulder. So I put the spot over his shoulder, and he said, what did you do? 90% of my pain is gone. So it was good. And then next month, I met him again, and he said, oh, my shoulder is pain. Let's do the shoulder. I said, okay. So I was still kind of new, and I was in a hurry and all that. So he just put it on my shoulder. So I put it on my shoulder. He said, oh, this time what happened? Only 50%, it's not 90%. It goes to tell you it makes a difference when you open up oxygen pathway. So, and from there, now 500 units were sold from that group. Okay. So Janet was one of them. Wow. So, yeah. And, so we know it's people, they would want to see instant result. I mean, of course, not everybody would have the same result. 90% is gone the first try after the body mat and the spot. But then again, you want to do the best you can. You want people to experience the best they can. Okay. That's just my experience.
Thank you.
But if you have already using in the morning, you have it in your body, so you're okay. You can use spot pad all day long. Okay.
Okay. Yay. Okay.
Any other questions?
Kimberly, am I unmuted? Let's see. Kimberly.
You are unmuted.
Okay.
I'm going to ask more
Kimberly, no, I know you had so many questions, and I was thinking, let me just real quickly. So Terry brought up the fact, because I know you really want a lot of your people who can't afford it. One of the best things you could do, because Terry is correct, if they go through a financing program, they're going to end up paying more than if they would get a credit card with like American Express or Citibank or B of A. And a lot of those credit cards right now are offering 1.5 to 2 years, no interest. So they'd make a monthly payment and they'd actually pay less than if they went through a financing company. So that's really,
And
yeah.
in fact,
Go ahead, Jen.
in-house, I'm sorry about that. Yeah, in-house financing, I wouldn't want to have in-house financing. Like another water company, they have like Kangen Water, the comp plan that we copied from, they have in-house financing. As far as, for distributor, we will not be able to get the commission until the unit is paid for. So right now, we get it paid upfront, either through a third-party financing company or credit card. We want that. So you don't want in-house financing. In fact, the company is not doing it. That's a good thing.
I guess I was just looking out for like,
Yeah.
like when I want
Sure,
to run this as a business, I guess, and then just sell it to people who really want to buy into it. Just because I want to give everybody a chance to do it, no matter what your financial state are. Because I know like with everything going up now, people are getting in more and more hardship. And I just want to make sure like I can offer this to them. So that brings me into my next question. Do I have to have a license like in my state or in general to like run this as a
business? Not that I'm aware of. I never had a license to do that.
So then
My understanding is it's considered a massage device. The FDA, before I bought, I called the FDA and asked these questions, and they said, hey, this is considered a massage device, is how they classify it. So I don't think so.
So
right now it's a medical device, and but then again, we are distributors. We are covered. A company has insurance as well. So we don't have to worry about.
Make them sign a waiver if they gotta just get on it one time?
It depends. Some people do, like a clinic, well, doctor's office doesn't matter because the patients, they have to sign something to the doctor anyway. But it depends. Some people, they feel more comfortable to have a waiver for them, but it's free contraindication is there. It's not going to hurt anybody. We have safe home use safety certificate with the FDA, so we are good.
Last question, I promise. Do you guys offer training sessions to like us to explain like in depth how these beds work, how to sell, and how to run the bed so we can explain it to other people? I mean, I watch the videos, but to me that I'm more of like, I need somebody to say, okay, we're setting this up. Here's this, and this is how you do it. So I didn't know if you guys offer that, or I don't know.
Well, yeah, as a sponsor, going to help you with that. Or if any further question, we can all brainstorm, to the upline sponsor, upline support. But I started from the beginning. It's all go by experience, because your sponsor, your upline support, they have more experience than you by using, in using the mat, and we can help you with those questions. Yeah.
Oh, Kimberly, I wanted to address your questions. So, and I really think it's great because you jumped in, you went and, you probably already did the certification, right?
Yep.
Yeah, you did that. And then there's a bunch of really great library questions in there. It really does come down to doing sessions. So when you start to do your sessions with your family, your friends, your people, like Janet said, you start to learn what works and doesn't work because everybody's a little bit different. So there isn't a cookie cutter. There is the Wolfie's Law, which was sent out originally. If you print that, did you print that?
I did not, but I need to.
Print that, because that was for the original Omnium one, but you can still apply that for the hybrid. The main thing is, though, is just what I do is I start people low and then let them build up depending on what issues they're working with. But everyone's so different. And especially with children, with pets, start low. Hi there. Who is that?
This is Olivia.
Hi, Olivia.
Someone I speak about on the tour.
Yeah, the Wolfie Law chart is from the IMRS in the beginning. It is really a guideline for me from when I get started. It's helpful. So, Greg always say there's no right or wrong. You just have to try it out, different thing, whatever you feel that you get the most benefit. Not everybody there's no cookie cutters, like everybody, you get the result with this. No. And also it doesn't target specific disease. So we just have to try it out. But the Wolfe Law chart is a very good guide. Yeah. For, local applicator. Yeah.
One of the things that our president, Greg Muser, had taught us early on is he said, more important than anything is consistency.
That's right.
And what that means is using it daily, morning, night, and drinking the water before and after, eating a good diet, sleeping. And the consistency was the most important thing. So whether you did it at 10, because remember, we're kind of thinking too hard, like, how do I do this? How high? But the reality is, now that we have the Hexagon Sense, which is reading your energy, plus it's checking your heart rate, your SpO2, it basically is a no-brainer, because you stick that on your finger or your client's finger, and you can put them on sensitive, and it will put them exactly where they need to be. So we're kind of like, when we're trying to think, well, how do I do this? Let that be your meter. So it's a pulse oximeter, which reads those things for you. And at the end of the session, it'll show you intensity. So you'll know, did it move up or down? And then you'll have a good idea. I think it was Rosa the other day, she said that hers had moved her like up to 200. And you just don't know, there's some reason that day energetically she needed that, or a person may need it lower. So I would just really rely on that. And then there's lots of videos, webinars in there. And then, when you've got questions, ask me, we'll guide you. And the more you do the sessions, the more you learn. So it'll be, it's a gradual process. And thank you for coming, Olivia. Oh, and I wanted to, there was one other thing I wanted to address. Is I think John's gone though. Is he gone? So just for you all to know, so a very important person, which everyone is, but I got a phone call about a hip replacement, and it was a second hip replacement on the same side hip in the middle of the night. And the person couldn't get downstairs. So they asked me to bring my mat, and I did. And he promised me to lay on it at least 2 to 3 times a day. And they had told him 12 to 16 weeks for this hip replacement to heal. And he called me 5 days later, and he said, I'm going hiking up a mountain. I am fine. And then the really good thing about it is it changed other things. He had a voice problem, and it shifted the vibration in his voice. So, we just don't know, because sometimes the body, when it heals itself, it shifts other things in your body. So that's really important. And then the other thing was, I was thinking about when I first met Wolfgang, my girlfriend did have the Beamer. And I took her to Wolfgang, and I said, Wolfgang, show me, tell us what's the difference. And one of the very first things he said to me is, be careful, because he did have, I think several people had come to him that were getting heart palpitations because the frequency was too high and too strong, similar to what Janet was saying. And I know when I first went on a Beamer, I only went on it one time. I got off and I said, this thing is not in resonance with the earth. It is way too high. It was effective, but it was too high. So we don't really need to worry about that, the competition. Just stay focused on how our quality and our integrity is with Swiss Bionics. It is so good. So
I'm sorry, but the Beamer is no competition for us.
No,
I'm sorry.
it's not. It's not.
just not.
It's not. But the thing is, we don't even have to go there. You know, let the people who want to use the beamer, let them use it. You know, but they're going to learn for themselves. So, hi, Pam. I see Pam.
Hi, Pam.
Patterson. Do you have a question for Natalie? How's Natalie? Can you unmute yourself, Pam? Oh, you're muted, Pam. There you
Now,
are.
can you hear me?
We can.
Oh, okay. Sorry about that.
Great.
She's sort of inching her way up to where she's, you know, well, basically she typically weighs 56 pounds. She dropped to, well, 42 on the low end, and she's about 48 inches. I mean, she's about 4 feet tall, so pretty skinny. So anyway, you know, she's got a massive kyphosis scoliosis. She's got a serious brain injury. And we did a SPECT scan with Dr. Amen, and that shows, what that shows is blood flow in the brain. And it looks like there's a bunch of holes in her brain, pretty significant ones, but really, essentially, there's no blood flow there. But, you know, blood is the life. So that means that those areas of her brain are dead. So she's got significant issues. And, but it, you know, so I'm just sort of playing with, what's the model that I have, Pamela?
You have the hybrid, the IMRS Prime, with the hexagon stents and the goggles. It's pretty much what everyone I think has here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now her fingers are really little, so I don't really feel like the pulse meter or whatever is picking up. So I was actually sitting here just thinking maybe I should put it on her big toe. What do you think?
I don't know. What do you think, Carrie?
You're talking about, I'm so sorry, I was reading a text.
Yeah, we use that if we do a pulse ox. We use it on toes and everywhere, so it should be the same.
Yeah. Good.
Okay,
Well,
so I'm
I
gonna-
never,
I'll-
yeah.
I'm sorry. So
Always on
I'll
the
try
index finger,
that.
I've never done that. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so I'll try that to see if I
Try
get
it.
more feedback on that. And then I was just using for brain injury because there really isn't that option there to select. So I was doing dementia, the Alzheimer's dementia. So I don't know. You know, I'm just having to be kind of creative, I suppose, in the selections.
I think the best thing would be to do what Penny said, get it on a toe or somewhere where we can hold it on and let the device read her and do the biofeedback. Because that way, because with Natalie, we don't necessarily know everything that's going on, right? So let it read her, see if we can get a better read with her. And then I still think, I don't know if you've gotten to him yet, but I know Terry has recently gone to Dr. Sten, and I think he could help, you know, additionally with muscle testing with the brain and all of that.
Yeah.
And water.
Yeah, water. Okay,
Water.
I think we're good. Well, maybe sometimes we can do some just product training.
Yep.
For you guys, for the new people especially. Okay. All right, so we are good. Okay. Let me stop recording.